Alright, let's jump straight into something absolutely wild. KSI, Logan Paul, and Jake Paul are yet again involved in the biggest scam in internet history. Sounds like a huge claim, right? But once you hear some of these stories, you might see why me and a lot of people are saying that. These three are famous for their crazy stunts, their boxing events, and their social media presence, but they also have a history of launching products and projects that make people question if everything is really on the up and up. So, is this just a whole lot of hating, or are KSI, Logan, and Jake actually fooling everybody with flashy promises and over the top drama? Let's break it down step by step in the simplest way possible. So, even if you're not glued to social media all day, you'll still get the full picture. To understand why Logan and Jake Paul keep getting labelled as scammers, we first have to talk about their rise to fame. They started on an old app called Vine, which lets you post 6-second videos. In just a few months, Logan Paul had millions of followers. Jake Paul then followed, racking up even more followers and billions of loops. That's what Vine called views. People said, wow, these guys are so creative with their 6-second clips. Others said, this is the most annoying stuff I've ever seen. But guess what? Even negative comments worked in their favor, because the more people talked about them, the more money and fame they got. Eventually, Vine went down, but the Paul brothers carried their fanbase over to YouTube and Instagram, where they exploded in popularity all over again. So what is the lesson here? Being hated is still better than not being noticed at all. At least, when you're trying to build a brand on social media, they use that to their advantage. People love drama, and the Pauls gave it to them in big doses. Let's start with Logan Paul's biggest controversies, because he doesn't just dip his toes in drama, he dives in head first. In 2017, Logan visited Japan and filmed a deeply disrespectful video in a sacred forest. This caused a massive backlash. Everybody thought this was the end for Logan Paul, but here's the shocking part. While he lost some sponsors, more people found out about him. Suddenly, the entire internet was talking about Logan Paul. Some folks even said, I had no idea who Logan Paul was until this scandal, and now he's all over my feed. Another time, Logan decided to open packs of super rare Pokemon cards on live stream. Some of these packs sold for huge amounts of money. He also launched NFTs tied to these Pokemon unboxings, making around $5 million in a single day, according to some reports. People were like, dude, how does he even do that? But it showed how Logan uses hype to turn digital collectibles into a money-making machine. Speaking of crypto, Logan also launched a project called Crypto Zoo, which he promised would be a fun game with special NFTs. People invested real money, hoping they would get cool items and maybe make a massive amounts of profit. But after a while, the project seemed stuck in the mud. Critics claimed it was all a scam, a rug pull, basically meaning they teased a product, took the money, and never delivered a working game. That's a huge deal in the crypto world. Lots of fans felt let down or even robbed. Social media reactions ranged from Logan messed up big time to people who trusted a random influencer's crypto pits are just as guilty. But either way, Logan's name was everywhere, and that's exactly how attention works online. Good or bad, it keeps you in the spotlight. Now, Jake Paul may be younger, but is not exactly in his brother's shadow. He made his own path, starting from Disney Channel and moving on to daily vlog videos, wild house parties, and even rap songs that people call some of the worst on YouTube. But here's the twist, one of his bad music videos, is Everyday Bro, blew up. It got a ton of dislikes, but it also got hundreds of millions of views that turned into cold hard cash. Eventually, Jake found a new goldmine, boxing. He fought a bunch of big names, including former MMA fighters like Ben Askren. The fight sold over 1 million pay-per-views and made somewhere around $75 million. Some viewers were suspicious. Are these matches rigged? Why is Jake fighting older or retired fighters? Even with the doubts, the events sold like crazy. Whether you think he's a good boxer or just a showman, the pay-per-view numbers were hard to ignore. Oh boy. But Jake Mr. Paul did not stop there. He started a sports betting company called Brr, which apparently had a valuation around $375 whopping million. And obviously, that is not a small change. Critics joke, is Jake Paul really a financial genius? Or does he just know how to market controversy like nobody else? Next up, there is KFC, KSI, famous YouTuber, musician, and boxer from the Great Britain, United Kingdom. KSI and Logan Paul were enemies in the ring before they became business buddies. They fought twice, made a ton of money, and then decided, hey, why not form an alliance instead of trying to knock each other out? That is when Prime Hydration entered the scene. Marketed as a healthier sports drinks with coconut water, it became an overnight sensation. Some flavors though have a lot of caffeine, especially Prime Energy. Critics are worried because young fans might chug multiple cans thinking it's basically just like water or a healthier alternative. But the marketing is slick. KSI and Logan both push it hard on their massive channels. The drink is now the official beverage sponsor for UFC and Arsenal FC, which only boosts its popularity. So, what do people say about Prime? Some love it. It tastes great, and the packaging is so cool. Others are more skeptical. It's just a sugary sports drinks with a fancy label. Stop calling it healthy for kids. Then there is another product they've been associated with, basically a lunch kit type snack that some folks claimed was moldy. Social media blew up with pictures of weird looking packaging. That kind of controversy usually kills a product, but in KSI and Logan's universe, drama often fuels sales because everyone is talking about it non-stop. Both Paul brothers and KSI seem to live by one rule: attention equals money. They know how to stir the pot, get eyes on them, and convert that attention into some sort of paid venture, whether it's a new flavor of Prime, an NFT collection, or a boxing match. A prime example, no pun intended, is Jake Paul calling out fighters on social media. He'll start beef with someone who has a big following. The internet goes crazy, media outlets pick it up, and by the time the fight is announced, everybody's already hooked. Tickets and pay-per-views sell out. It is a strategy that is unbelievably effective. Logan Paul and KSI do something similar. They will appear at big events, film any funny or scandalous moment, and turn it into a viral clip. Or they'll let rumors swirl about potential new projects, getting their fans hyped up before any official announcement. By the time the product or event goes live, people can't wait to throw money at it. Now, let's get to the nitty and gritty. Why are some folks calling them the biggest scammers ever? Logan's crypto Jew is a major reason. People put money into NFTs for a game that never worked as promised. It felt like a classic rug pull where developers hype up a token or NFT, sell it once, and vanish when profits are made. Prime Hydration is labelled as a healthy alternative, but its caffeine levels in some versions might not be as wholesome as the marketing makes it seem, especially for kids. The Paul's entire empire seems built on controversies that gets them more attention. Some argue this is dishonest. Why? Because controversies often lead to huge business deals, and it might trick viewers into thinking everything is unplanned, but many suspect it is all staged. Online sentiment is pretty mixed. Some say they are geniuses, they cracked the code of internet fame. Others say they'll do anything for money, no matter who gets hurt in the process. Because so many weird things have happened around KSI and the Paul brothers, you get a lot of theories floating around. Here are some popular ones. KSI and Logan might have staged the entire rivalry. From day number one, they pretended to hate each other, raked in money from their boxing matches, then revealed they are actually great pals, launching Prime together. Jake calls out a fighter, Logan hypes it on his podcast, KSI reacts on his channel, and all three profit from the combined views. People think they coordinate these events to keep themselves trending. Some suspect that the Pauls and maybe KSI are playing around with crypto tokens, pumping up the value with their hype and then selling their tokens in secret, leaving ordinary buyers with worthless coins. Nobody has proved it 100%, but the rumors persist. Another big concern is that they all have huge followings of younger fans. People say, hey, kids do not understand marketing or nutritional facts. They just see their favorite YouTubers telling them to buy an energy drink or invest in some new trend that makes the scam label even stronger for many critics. Let's look at a few general reactions from social media and forums. A group of fans admire the hustle. They say things like, "This is how you build a brand in 2025 by staying in everybody's conversation." They think it's an amazing example of how to dominate social media and business at the same time. Others believe everybody should boycott their products and fights. They'll post comments like, "If you don't want to get scammed, just don't buy Prime, don't buy their NFTs, don't watch their boxing events." They argue that star power fades away if you stop them over attention and cash. Then you have folks who blame the audience. They will say, if you got tricked by these obvious hype tactics, maybe you deserve to lose your money. You should do your own research before investing in random crypto or chugging an energy drink that claims to be super healthy. In more extreme corners, some people are calling for legal action, especially around the NFT controversies. They point to allegations of fraud, saying we need to see them face real consequences if they scammed investors. It hasn't gone that far in court, but the chatter is out there. So, will KSI, Logan Paul and Jake Paul face any serious repercussions for these alleged scams? Or will they keep riding the wave of controversy and cash? Nobody can say for sure. Even when Logan messed up big time in Japan, he rebounded after a while and his subscriber count eventually got even bigger. Jake has faced numerous controversies but continues to land huge pay-per-view boxing matches. KSI has had his share of beef with other creators but is still one of the biggest YouTubers in the UK and continues to promote Prime everywhere. For them to slow down, their audience would have to tune out. But with so many fans invested in their drama, whether they love them or hate them, that seems unlikely anytime soon. On the business side, giant partnership like the UFC and Arsenal FC for Prime mean big money and high visibility, no matter how many critics speak up. So, there you have it. KSI, Logan Paul and Jake Paul have built empires of viral stunts, boxing matches and products that might or might not be as great as advertised. Whether you see them as brilliant marketers or shameless tricksters, their story shows the massive power of attention. In the internet age, they have found a way to turn every tweet, like and YouTube view into real cash. Maybe you are thinking people need to be more careful about what they buy or invest in, or maybe you believe these guys should be held to a higher standard, especially since the younger fans can be easily convinced to spend their money. Either way, it's a wild ride to watch and it doesn't seem like it is stopping. Some folks are wondering if an even bigger scandal is just around the corner. Will the bubble burst if KSI, Logan or Jake pushes things too far? Or will they adapt, apologize and move on to the next project? Time will tell, but for now, we can all agree on one thing. These three know exactly how to keep us talking about them, and that's the real secret. Love them or hate them, you are giving them the spotlight every time you click, comment or tune in. So, are they the biggest scammers in internet history, or are they simply the best at playing this social media game? You be the judge. Thanks for sticking around. More info will probably pop up soon, and you bet I'll be right here letting you know if anything crazier happens. Stay alert, do your own research, and don't fall for the hype if it sounds too good to be true, because on the internet, sometimes the biggest stars might be hiding the biggest scams.